Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing and taking a look at some predictions for fantasy position point leaders. Now these are going to be the players who have the most points for their position at the end of next year in fantasy football. Just to clarify, this is going to be a half point per reception league and a 12-person league. So let's get right into it. For the quarterback, we're going to be choosing Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes in fantasy points was 4th last year and only played 15 games, which is one less than the top 3. He was only down 25 points. And if I were to place money on it, I'd say he scores over 25 points in that game against the Chargers. If he did, that will make him number 1 overall last year. To top that off, he's coming in with a brand new offensive line, and the Kansas City Chiefs team is looking better than ever. And I really hate to say that because I'm a Broncos fan, but it is true. And he is the commander of that team, and he's going to be getting lots of fantasy points. So don't be surprised if he's the first quarterback to go off the board in your fantasy draft, because he probably will be the best. Okay, for the running back, I'm choosing Christian McCaffrey. Now, it was really close between Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. And the one thing that set him apart from Derrick Henry is the fact that he can receive the ball as well. Derrick Henry does not receive the football. Christian McCaffrey does. And in a half point per reception league, that will go the extra mile and push him just a little bit past Derrick Henry. This is not saying he's miles ahead. Definitely not. It's pretty close between those two, but a couple other reasons why CMC would be better is because he was out last year. And knowing him, knowing any NFL player, if you're in the NFL, you got that mentality, like, you got to bounce back. So he's going to bounce back. As I already said, he's great on the ground and through the air. And he's going to be basically the center point of that offense, especially with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. He was the leading point scorer 2 years ago when he was healthy. And in the 3 games he played last year, he got 75 total points, which is wild. And yeah, that's why I chose CMC for the running back. For a wide receiver, I'm going to choose Stefan Diggs. Now, this may seem a little bit controversial. Some people would choose Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill. That's fair. Tyreek Hill I didn't choose because Travis Kelce is in that offense as well, and Tyreek Hill isn't going to get all the looks. And I didn't choose Devontae Adams because we're still unsure whether or not Aaron Rodgers is actually going to be around next year. So Stefan Diggs was a safer choice, and also he's going to do great this year because last year, he was in a new offense. So for the first few games of that year, he was kind of getting settled in. Now he knows the offense, and last year he led the league in receptions. Remember that. That's great for half point per reception. But only think what he can do now that he's settled into the offense and can play a full year knowing the scheme and the offensive coordinator and everything that goes on with that offense. Also, on that team, he is by far the number 1 guy. They have no running back. Their tight end, Knox, he's good, but he comes nowhere close to Stefan Diggs. And, but they did just pick up Emmanuel Sanders, but he's kind of just a veteran there for the Super Bowl, in my mind. And that's why I chose Stefan Diggs for the wide receiver position. Now, for tight end, I'm choosing Tim Tebow. That is not true. That was a joke. But for real, I'm choosing George Kittle, another guy who was out last year. He really wants to bounce back, and the thing that put him set away from Travis Kelce, who was easily the second choice, is because Travis Kelce is accompanied by Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill has Travis Kelce. Those two guys balance each other out. It makes the offense better for a Chiefs fan, but for a fantasy viewing point of things, that's not the best. Even though they still put up amazing points, it's not number 1 status. That's why George Kittle is my guy here. He's going to bounce back after last year. He's by far the number 1 guy in that offense. The closest thing they have to somebody to beat him for targets is Tebow Samuel, and that is not going to happen. Also, tight end is a very secure position you can pass to. They run a lot of short routes, and that's what they're going to be running a lot with Trey Lance, because with a new rookie quarterback, you don't want to send him out on the field and just get him to throw it 80 yards down the field every time. That's not how it works. So with George Kittle, wide receivers usually do those streak routes all the way down the field. George Kittle is not that guy. He's going to be kind of that underneath kind of guy, or that middle of the field kind of guy, where he'll get the most targets from Trey Lance as well. Okay, we're going to move on to flex, and in case you didn't know, flex can be a running back, tight end, or wide receiver. Usually in a 12-person league, your starting flex will get picked in the 5th or 6th round, maybe even later, depends on how you like to draft. But I'm not going to choose somebody like Devontae Adams or something, because that's crazy. He's never going to get picked in the 5th or 6th round. So, to be reasonable, I'm going to choose one running back and one wide receiver. Now, the running back I'm going to choose is J.D. Mckissick. J.D. Mckissick could fall as far as the 6th or 7th round this year. And that's good because it gives you other opportunities to pick different people. He is a second string, but he is the third down running back in Washington. And that's good because whenever you're a third down running back, you got that opportunity. You're getting more opportunities, more playing time. And that's just better if you want to get the football more, because there are some backup running backs in the league that are not third down running backs. And that means they're getting way less opportunities to get the ball. So that's good. Another thing is, he's a great receiving back, which is also good for half point per reception. And for my prediction for him, I'm going to say he's going to put up around 8 to 12 points a game. The ceiling would be 15. That's the max. The low he would ever put is 6 points. But that's probably pretty rare. And if Antonio Gibson gets hurt, because you never know what's going to happen in the NFL. If he gets hurt, J.D. Mckissick is the number one guy for the rest of the year. And yeah, but that can happen with anybody. And for the wide receiver, we have Corey Davis. Now, Corey Davis might not fall as far as J.D. Mckissick because he is one of the starting guys in New Jersey or New York with the Jets. The Jets have Corey Davis and Brashad Perriman. So, out of those two, I see them splitting the reps quite evenly. But the thing is, this Jets team in your draft is going to get way overlooked because they have the new rookie quarterback, and Corey Davis last year did not put up very good numbers. But the only reason why is because he was surrounded by Derrick Henry, Jonnu Smith, and of course A.J. Brown. So he was like the fourth guy in that offense, which he's not going to get any looks. But what it really relies on is the performance of Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson can perform, then this guy will rack up lots of points and will be a great asset for your team. And also, he's a wide receiver, which is good in half point per reception. And yeah, that is why I chose Corey Davis. And for kicker, I'm not going to spend too long on this. It's Justin Tucker. It's obvious. He's the most consistent kicker in the league. He's the best kicker in the league. He is the guy who is going to put up the most points, in my mind, for sure. And for the defense has a few candidates. The defense doesn't matter that much. There are a few teams that would be good, like the Ravens, the Rams would be good. There are a few teams that would be good, but the number one team I'm putting here is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Putting the Pittsburgh Steelers here because they have the best D-line in the league, in my opinion. And they're going to get many, many sacks. And sacks are 2 points apiece. So that's very helpful for your team, and 2 points for a sack is great. Also, the secondary is amazing. They're going to get a ton of picks as well. The one thing is, usually Pittsburgh games can be pretty high scoring, especially when they have to play against that pretty tough AFC North. And yeah, that is why I chose the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you don't get the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't worry about it because there are many good defenses. And another option is you just streamline defenses every week. See a good matchup, pick that defense. Doesn't matter as much, but Pittsburgh Steelers is my number one pick. Well, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more videos like this. And we'll see you on the next one.